Tonight, President Bola Tinubu receives Ghanaian president on his first official visit to Nigeria. Reps call on federal government to probe excessive fuel use of explosives by quarry companies. Plus, Northern youth reject bill seeking to convert Lagos 39 area councils to local government areas. Hello, good evening everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Rstv World News. I am Solomon Nelson Braid. Do you love and care about Rivers State and of peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. The sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral retired Ibokete Ekwe Ibas, has sworn in new secretary to the Rivers State government. He is Professor Ibidia Lucky Worika, a university done, and was sworn in at the Executive Chambers of Government House in Port Harcourt. Tamroba Iblubu takes it from there.
With the oath of office and allegiance administered on him by the Chief Registrar of the State High Court, David Owamadenyi, Professor Worika pledged to serve with diligence and dedication. The sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ebok Etek Ekwe Abbas, explained that the appointment of Professor Worika was not just an administrative decision, but a statement of intent because of his expertise in law, policy, and international governance. Such wealth of experience, he said, will be required in steering the affairs of government to restore law, order, integrity, and public trust in Rivers State. Vice Admiral Abbas emphasized the need for him to work with civil servants cooperatively because they are critical stakeholders in the functioning of government and to ensure that his administration achieved set goals.
Rivers State needs your intellect, grit, and unwavering dedication. Together, we will write a new chapter of progress for this great state. This administration is committed to delivering an effective governance, one anchored on transparency, accountability, and service. Professor Worika's role will be critical in driving this vision, ensuring that every policy, every decision, and every action is in consonance with this administration's mandate to restore law and order, stabilize the polity, and to create the necessary conditions for the full restoration of democratic institutions and representations. You must roll up your sleeves and get to work with the team. Our civil servants, with whom we will work closely to run this administration, are critical stakeholders, and we must work with them to ensure that the state continues to function effectively during this administration.
Tamun Nobarabi Iblubo, Rstv News.
Similarly, the sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibokete Ekwe Ibas, has approved the suspension of all political office holders and appointees in the state. A statement by the Chief of Staff to the sole administrator said those affected include the Secretary to the State Government, Chief of Staff of Government House, and all honorable commissioners. Other appointees affected are chairmen and members of all boards, councils of agencies, commissioners, institutions, parastatals, special advisors, senior special assistants, and special assistants. According to the statement, the suspension takes effect from Wednesday, March 26, 2025. It urged affected officers to hand over to the permanent secretaries in the MDAs, and where there may be no permanent secretary, they should hand over to the most senior director of the head of administration. The Chief of Staff to the administrator explained that the action is taken in pursuant to the powers conferred on the administrator by the President, Bola Tinubu. Away from that, the 43rd matriculation ceremony of the Rivers State University in Bolu, Orowariko, Port Harcourt holds on Friday, 28 March 2025 at 9 o'clock in the morning. A statement by the Registrar, Mrs. Ibimonia B.S. Harry, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Isaac Zeb Obibi, invites the management, student staff, students, and fresh students of the 2024-2025 academic session to be punctual. The statement adds that the ceremony will hold at the convocation arena of the university. President Bola Tinubu today received his Ghanaian counterpart, John Mahama, at his official residence in the State House, Abuja. Mahama's visit to Nigeria is his first official visit since his inauguration on January 7, 2025. Both leaders are expected to focus on strengthening diplomatic ties between Nigeria and Ghana in areas of cooperation in trade and security, and discussing key regional issues within the economic community of West African states. Shortly after winning the presidential election in December 2024, Tinubu visited Mahama in Accra to congratulate him on becoming Ghana's president. Moving on, the House of Representatives has called on the federal government to investigate the excessive use of explosives by quarry companies nationwide, and especially in the Federal Capital Territory. The House took the decision Thursday after adopting a motion of urgent public importance brought before it during a plenary by the member representing Ifelodun of Oyun Federal Constituency, Kwara State, Mr. Tijani Ismail. The lawmaker informed the House that Zebast Quarry, located along Arab Road in Kubwa, Abuja, has been operating with significant negative impact on the surrounding communities, particularly in relation to degradation of houses, buildings, and other infrastructural decay. Following the adoption of the motion, the House directed its Committee on Solid Minerals to recommend the immediate revocation of Zebast Quarry's operating license if found guilty of violating health and safety regulations. It also mandated the Committee on Solid Minerals to summon the management of Zebast Quarry, the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, and other relevant agencies for investigative hearing to assess the impact of the quarry's operations, among others. Students under the umbrella of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Ondo State Chapter, took to the streets on Thursday to protest the worsening insecurity in the state. The demonstrators, primarily from Owo Polytechnic, blocked Oba Adesida Road near the A Division in Akure, chanting "Enough is enough" and demanding urgent government intervention. The students decried the frequent abduction of their colleagues, alleging that kidnappers often killed victims even after collecting ransom. Northern Youth of Nigeria has vehemently rejected a proposed bill seeking to convert 37 local council development areas in Lagos State into full-fledged local government areas. In a statement issued on Thursday in Kaduna, NYCN National President Isa Abubakar described the proposed bill as unjust and a threat to the principles of equity, fairness that must underpin our nation's governance. Isa Abubakar argued that the development could lead to increased fragmentation and division within Nigeria's national structure, undermining the unity and integrity of the country. He also advocated for a fair and comprehensive review of local governance structures across the country. You are still watching Rstv World News. Do you love and care about River State and our peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. And in part 2, after the break, Niger coup leader sworn in as president for 5 years, and President Trump unveils new tariffs on foreign vehicles. Details of these and more when we return. Stay with us.
awesome wonder and mighty ruler, the King of all the earth.
I have said this, and I'm going to say it. My vision is not to buy private jets. My vision is not to drive the most expensive car. My vision is not to use the money of God to build expensive school that the members that contributed cannot attend. My vision the resources of God. Prepare people for